Welcome back. Today we begin a brand new chapter. No blueprints, no machines, just skill, patience, and the strength of one woman carving a home out of raw earth and bamboo. Let's follow her from the very first step as she turns untouched land into the foundation of something truly remarkable. She begins by digging deep, evenly spaced foundation holes into the sloping terrain she has carefully prepared. One by one, she lifts and sets tall bamboo poles into these holes, forming the core structural columns that will support the entire home. Then comes the craft. Wooden beams, pre-cut and notched, are joined to the bamboo columns using traditional mortise and tenon techniques. Without nails or screws, the structure locks into itself with surprising strength. To ensure the frame withstands wind and shifting ground, she adds diagonal braces, small bamboo poles fitted tightly between posts, reinforcing the skeleton with elegant precision. Next, she climbs higher, installing cross beams that will serve as the floor of the upper level. More vertical bamboo posts rise from these joints, forming the next story of the house. At the very top, she secures horizontal rafters to connect the upper columns, a final gesture that completes the full skeleton of the roof. From here, a house begins to take shape, one pole, one beam, one step at a time. With the frame now complete, she moves upward to begin flooring the second story. Carefully, she lifts split bamboo slats, thin, flexible panels known for their strength, and lays them tightly across the wooden joists. Piece by piece, she builds a sturdy upper floor, forming a workspace high above the ground. Next comes the heart of the roof. Working alone, she hoists long bamboo beams and positions them in pairs, forming triangular roof trusses in an elegant A-frame shape. Each one is set precisely atop the main columns, defining the slope and structural rhythm of the roof. Then, with quiet focus, she climbs onto the frame and begins weaving a dense grid of thin bamboo laths across the trusses. These horizontal and vertical strips, known as lido, are tied carefully in place with twine, creating a strong underlayer to support the future thatch. To access higher points, she crafts her own ladder from bamboo and rope, lightweight, resilient, and safe. It's a tool born from necessity and skill, allowing her to climb with confidence where no scaffolding exists. Finally, she secures the ridge beam, the long spine of the roof, running it across the peak and binding it to the trusses below. Each tie, each lash brings the skeleton closer to shelter. The house is no longer just a frame. It's beginning to breathe. With the bundles of palm fronds stacked nearby, she climbs back onto the structure. Perched high on the bamboo frame, she begins laying each frond carefully from the bottom edge of the roof, working her way upward. Every leaf is positioned to overlap the previous one, forming layers like the feathers of a bird, natural, waterproof, and built to last. Her hands move with confidence, anchoring each frond with loops of split vine, binding them tightly to the wooden frame beneath. The roof begins to take form, thick, green, and graceful. She adjusts her footing on the beams, balancing with precision, occasionally leaning down to tie a stubborn knot, or slicing the edge of a palm with her machete to make it sit flush. As the sun shifts overhead, the structure slowly disappears beneath a soft, leafy canopy. Shadows flicker through the fronds while she continues working without pause, draping nature itself as shelter. To secure the entire structure against wind and time, she lays several long bamboo poles across the ridge and ties them firmly to the frame. These beams press the layers of palm down, locking them in place. Her work is meticulous, not rushed, not careless. It's an art form, passed down through time, repeated by memory, muscle, and intention. Back on solid ground, she surveys the roof, then heads around the structure, preparing the next part. From a pile of prepared bamboo, she selects several pieces and begins fitting them into place as railings along the platform's edge. She ties them neatly, one by one, shaping the perimeter of the home with quiet care. Then, with a new set of tools, she begins to add short vertical posts hammering them into position to hold the horizontal rails. The bamboo bends gently beneath the pressure of her grip, but holds strong as she knots them into place. Bit by bit, the outline of the home becomes clearer, a roof that breathes, a frame that stands, and now a balcony that protects. She pauses for a moment to rest in the shade of her work, surrounded by bird song and breeze. The structure is alive not just with function, but with the presence of the one who built it. It holds her rhythm, her balance, her story, written in every notch, joint, and fiber. And it's not finished yet. As the sunlight filters softly through the palm canopy above, she finishes tying the last bamboo rods for the interior divider. Her movements remain focused, precise, as she binds each slat tightly with lengths of vine, securing the final joints of the woven wall. Every strand, every knot, contributes to a pattern of patience. She steps back and looks up at the unfinished roof. In the next breath, she lifts a wide fan of palm leaves, thick, green, and freshly prepared, hoisting it onto her shoulder. With one powerful motion, she carries it toward the ladder and begins the climb. Up there, among the treetops and beams, she begins layering the leaves with practiced care. She bends them slightly over the ridge, flattening them in rhythmic rows. Climbing higher, she drapes the leaves evenly across the roof's frame. Her body shifts effortlessly, balancing on thin beams while aligning the thatch perfectly. With each bundle, she presses the leaves down and then lays thin bamboo poles across them, anchoring them tightly. The sound of tying, of rustling leaves, fills the still air. Back on the ground, she moves swiftly, gathering splinters of bamboo left scattered across the floor. With a bundle of thin slats in hand, she kneels and begins weaving them together. Her fingers move like a loom, creating intricate panels of alternating colors, light and dark, green and white. These woven mats will become the new floor beneath her feet. She installs the panels one by one, aligning their edges precisely. They click into place with subtle tension, turning the raw ground into a surface of craftsmanship and intention. Then, she lifts the largest woven mats, strong, flexible, beautiful, and carries them upright. These are not just floor panels now, they are walls. One by one, she stands them up, adjusting them gently into the gaps of the frame. Each panel is tied firmly to the bamboo posts, transforming the skeleton of the house into a solid, enclosed space. Finally, she installs the door, a wide, light frame of woven bamboo, lifted and hung by her own hands. She steps back, the house breathes with form, with texture, with life. It is complete from earth to sky, from the rhythm of hands to the stillness of the structure. A quiet home, standing tall in the forest. Thank you for watching this journey from bare earth to a handcrafted home. We'll see you again soon in the next story.